T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Yes, people, and welcome back to Team Kopish. You know what time it is, people. It's your boy, man like Matt, and I have a special guest with me. I've got my boy Kojo. What's going on, bro? You blessed?
Listen, people. Yes, I'm good, man. I'm good. Back in London, enjoying this little heat wave that's going on. Yeah, why not?
Indeed, indeed. And we've got Bajan as well. Bajan will be joining us shortly, and so will Drifty as well. So listen, people, like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. We're about to get into it, people. Liverpool's new structure, as you can see from the title. A lot of things have changed. Cal, I don't think he'll be joining for this show, people. He may be back later on, but if not, you will see Cal later on this week. As you know, Cal's on holiday. So big up to Cal and the family once again. And just big up to everyone in the chat as well. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Listen, there's only one place to start, Kojo, innit? A lot of things have changed at Liverpool and are about to change. Jurgen Klopp, obviously, is about to leave Liverpool. I think there's only about a week and a bit left now that he's going to be our manager. How are you feeling now, bro? We've only about a week left. Like, what's your, how do you feel with it about to all come to an end now? Pause.
I feel like it's time. It's time. I think it's important that I think it's always majestic when you can leave on your own accord. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted the romantic, ending of his time at Liverpool, raising the Premier League, or at least getting another one under his belt. It wasn't to be, but I think his main thing was to turn us from doubters to believers. We're believers now. He's leaving us in a way better place than we were. I'm excited about the future of our club in terms of the talent. They've all got experience now. And when a man's tired, you got to listen to it. I think one thing Jurgen is, he's very good at calling things at the right time for him. And all I can do is think about all the good times that we've had under Jurgen. And like when some managers like Benitez come back, it's like we like Benitez coming back. We because of what he done in the Champions League. But
of course. Yeah.
But he really leave on a positive one. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Whereas when Jurgen comes back, it's all positive, bro. Like all
100.
positive. And I feel like it's gonna be a sad day. I'm not looking forward to it. But as always, Liverpool march on. We'll continue. We'll have future success. And yeah, let's see what the new manager brings, man.
That's a great way of saying it, because I'm of the same opinion as you. Like, obviously, everything's about to come to an end now. I do feel like with everything that's happened, it is the right time. And it's going to be a sad day when Jurgen Klopp does leave Liverpool. What's so mad is, like the other day, I was having a debate, with some Arsenal fans, funny enough, and they were saying, always Arsenal, and they always have to get involved in what Liverpool do. But they were basically saying that, is Jurgen Klopp overrated? Or they think he's overrated. And I was like, how so? I was like, think of what this manager's done for the club in the 9 years he's been there. I understand that we've had a Man City that we've had to contend with pretty much every single year. But we've done our fair share of damage to European football and domestic. Yes, I understand that. We might have only got, the one Premier League. But that one Premier League, you could arguably say, was so emphatic because we blew everyone out of the water before it even touched, January, February. And that's not many teams that can do that. Normally it goes down to the wire. We found out the hard way at times, when we, the 97, I think it was 97 and 98 points in the 18-19 season. We can also speak about the 20, what season was it where we was going for the quad? Was it the 22-23 season? I want to say.
Yeah.
I think it was that season. So, you know what I mean? So I just want to say as well, like, for me, the manager is a Liverpool legend. That goes without saying already. And I think he's definitely 20. Okay, so it was a 21 season. Okay. 21.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 21-22 season. Big up the chat as well. 21-22 chat. I was gonna say, like, bro, like, this manager brought Liverpool back the title after 30 years, bro. 30 years. I know we can all sit there and go, he could have got more and maybe he should have got more. But, bruv, when you waited 30 years for a Prem, it's different, bruv. It's different. So, yeah, man, for me, Lee's a legend.
Yeah,
Gonna be a sad day, man.
I feel like, people's idea of success in modern football has to be measured on where they find the club at when they arrive. Yeah,
I agree.
Because let's have it right. Pep's only been successful because of the number of points he's managed to get at a season which had never been done and winning the Champions League. Outside of that, everything had been done before he got there. Everything
true.
done before he got there. So let's have it right. They've not really called him a success until he won the Champions League. Because that's where he found the club. He found the club winning, but they hadn't won the ultimate prize. And he went and accomplished that. And when you look at what Jurgen's done from where to where we are now, 3 Champions League finals as a Liverpool manager, bro. Finals.
Oh, you still there, Kojo? You broke up a little bit. You still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Just about. I think you're back now. Technical. I think your Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Let me see. Hold on.
All right, cool. This is the beauty of live, people.
Is that better?
Yeah, better. Yeah.
Cool. So, cool. So I was saying that, we're 3 Champions League finals, a UEFA Cup final, multiple League Cup finals. Well, yeah, like, for me, I feel like where we were nearly, man, we were where like Arsenal probably are right
100.
now.
Yeah.
With Arteta when we was under Brendan Rodgers, right? Where it was like nearly, couple of cups, nearly, but like we are expected to win the league now. We're expected, and I feel like he brought us back to the promised land, and for me, like we're still one behind Man United. There's something about this new manager and being under the radar that I like. I think although Jurgen came to Liverpool, his last season at Dortmund was terrible.
It was shocking, man. But I say shocking. Yeah. What Dortmund fans are used to seeing, it was bad. It was bad.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like because of that, he still came under the radar a little bit. As much as what people saw, he was also called a nearly man, and because he didn't win the Champions League there. He won 2 leagues, I believe. But like, he still had a lot to prove. And I think as much as he made Liverpool great, we also gave him the space to become great as a manager as well. Do you know what I mean? So Liverpool's a special club. When you come to us, you get better. The world recognizes you. So hopefully the new one takes the opportunity with both hands.
Yeah. No, I agree. So Kojo, moving forward, we were talking about off camera, we were talking about Liverpool's structure and how things have changed, but at the same time familiar, right? So I'm just going to read out these names for you. Michael Edwards is now CEO for FSG. Remember that. CEO for FSG, not Liverpool. Yeah?
Yeah.
Richard Hughes is sporting director, I believe, for Liverpool. Julian Ward, who is making a surprise return who left, remember, after Michael Edwards. Remember, he was only in charge for like about 3-4 months, 6 months, if that, left, is now coming back as technical director. And also, Pedro Marquez, if I pronounce that right, chat, I hope you appreciate the pronunciation, is now director of football development. I believe, I think he was from, is he from Benfica, chat? I'm trying to remember. Was he Benfica, yeah? Okay. So, and obviously we'll get onto the manager a bit later, yeah? First and foremost, what's your thoughts on Michael Edwards coming back as CEO for FSG?
I think it's familiar. I think, you know, he clearly wanted more power, I think. And there was a struggle when Klopp kind of earned the right to kind of just say, I want control over everything. You know,
Yeah.
Klopp didn't start that way, but he came and earned his power.
Facts.
And like, okay, fair enough. You brought us what we asked for and more. We trust you. So I think it was two people kind of maybe clashing. Now that there's a change of guard, I think he comes in a new capacity, the capacity that he probably wanted before. Sometimes you've got to go away to appreciate the job, and I think there's new eyes on it. It's not like he's just been there all the time and then he's just got this new role. I think sometimes it's good to kind of go away. Even Julian Ward to kind of go away, come back, new eyes, refreshed. But this is the boy band that gave us the #1 hits. Do you understand? Yeah, they're coming back together. They know how to get transfers done quietly. Fabinho, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson. These are like signings under these guys' watch. So for me, I feel like, you know, some of the names that we're being linked with is exciting again. And I feel like if they want people, they know how to get these deals done quietly and quickly. And also they know about the release clauses that many wouldn't know about. Do you know what I mean? So for me, this bodes well. It's a proven group. Let them do their thing.
All right. So just quick question. Are you happy with Edwards coming back, by the way? Are you happy?
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, moving on to Richard Hughes, because I think he was the previous sporting director of Bournemouth. Are you happy with that as well?
Look at Bournemouth, bro. Yeah. The signings that he made.
I'm just asking the questions. I'm just wanting to know your answer. Yeah.
I'm saying that, you know, at that level, absolutely, right? He has built a team there that is beyond sustainable. Next year, they're going to be talking about Bournemouth as maybe trying to see if they can creep into one of those European spots because they've had longevity. And I think signings like Solanke have done the club really, really well. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, agreed.
For me, I feel like Edwards is going to go with somebody that he has a rapport with, somebody that he also might be hungry to prove a point, because you can't just have people that know they're great. You need somebody that's hungry as well, because their eyes are a bit more open to that they've got something to prove, rather than somebody who's already done it and feels like I ain't got to prove myself. You don't know what I've done, but I don't want previous glory. I want new glory. I want people that are going to be hungry to go like, this is going to be my name's on this opportunity. Let me go and get the best signings that we could possibly get.
Nah, agreed. Big up TK. He actually says like Julian Ward is actually technical director for FSG, and Pedro Marquez is also hired under FSG. We must remember this. That is true, because from my understanding as well, Kojo, there's supposed to be Liverpool are looking for that multi-team setup where they want to get another team maybe under the umbrella under FSG. So say like you kind of get a feeder club, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not as much as maybe City, but I think Liverpool are looking at another club. But are you, in regards to the whole whether they're hired for FSG or Liverpool, are you worried about that, or are you just cool with that anyway? Like, are you cool with that?
I'm cool with that. I listen, man. I've never really understood this FSG out thing. I think it's something that sounds great, but these are the people that came and brought us every title that exists. Like sometimes you got to be very careful what you ask for, because because you can get something new and then they got all the money in the world, but then they spend it like Chelsea. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Look at what we've been able to achieve with what we spent, compared to all the other clubs. It's been nothing but successful and a sustainable business. It's very easy in 2024 for your club to be in financial restraint and all of a sudden they're being deducted points, and now this big conglomerate that you never thought would get relegated just happens to do that because they've done something against FFP. And I'm saying these people have brought us every title under the sun that we wanted. Yeah, could they spend a little bit more money? Yeah, we'd love to see. That's what fans love. Yeah, but this ain't Championship Manager, and I'd rather my club be in good nick and we win trophies on occasions and play great football than to be in where Man City are, where they're just winning everything. But you know what? If they get hammered with this case, this court case coming, they might
115 court cases. You mean? No, joking. Charges,
yeah,
shall we say?
they might get if their club gets relegated, bro. Then what?
Nah, it's true. And they've got a big court case coming up. We don't know when it is, but it is rumored, from what I understand, to be within the next 6 to 7 months, from what I've heard. But
Man City as a club, the nice girl in school, yeah, right? But you don't marry her. You don't marry her. But she's nice, but you don't marry her. Because you know what I mean? Because she takes great pictures. I want the club with character. I want the club that sustains. I want that club that gives you all types of seasons. You know what I mean? So for me,
I hear that.
I love how we're run. I think they brought back a trusted team with a few newbies in Richard and the Marquez guy, Richard Hughes and the Marquez guy. And let's just see what they do. I think you need new energy. You can't just bring everybody back. You need new energy and people who have a point to prove.
Facts. Bajan, welcome to the party, my bro.
Thanks, bro.
That's right, brother. I'll ask you this as well. So obviously we've seen Liverpool's new structure. I'm going to read through the names because I don't know whether you heard. So Michael Edwards is now CEO for FSG. Richard Hughes is now sporting director, I believe, for Liverpool. Julian Ward is now technical director for FSG. And Pedro Marquez is now director of football development for FSG. From my understanding, it looks like Edwards has kind of brought the band back together. What's your first thoughts hearing those names and seeing some people return to the club, bro?
NWO settings, huh?
Oh boy. I think it might be. Yeah.
The click is back together.
Yeah.
I think it's good structure, Matt. All jokes aside, those guys did a good job when they were here initially. I think it's good that they're coming back, but there's a bigger question that needs to be answered, though. Is this one of the underlying reasons Klopp actually walking away?
That is a very good question. Kojo, what's your thoughts on what Bajan just said? And I'll give my response in a second.
I don't think it will be the reason. I just think that's I don't know if you're saying it as in like Klopp saw that they were gonna come back, so he's like, I'm out. Is that what you mean?
It could be one of the reasons that helped push them over the line.
Yeah,
you probably don't want to work with these guys.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that's a far reach. But I think I'm looking at it as because he's leaving, they feel like we need something familiar back. That's kind of how I'm choosing to look at it. I think that's a fair point that you've asked and a good question, and it could be very, very true, to be honest. But my mind's on this man's leaving. We need some things to kind of remain the same or some familiarity, and let's bring in these guys. Give them, remember, because a lot of them didn't want to come back. Like, they didn't want to come back. It was a back and forth.
Yeah, agreed. They had to fight tooth and nail to bring some of them back. Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they had to bump it up a little bit to get them to come back. So for me, I kind of go with the latter idea of because Klopp's leaving, they want some sort of familiarity at the club still, and they're bringing back the guys that done a brilliant job.
Yeah. You made
Major, can I answer that? Sorry, Major, can I answer your question as well? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I don't think it's the reason why he left. However, I do think if they said to Jurgen, this is who you have to work with next season, it would have been a problem. Because in my opinion, when he was first at Liverpool, he had majority of these guys around him in the first place, right? And then he got so good to the point where he kind of didn't need them, or he thought he didn't need them. He became all powerful. Dare I say, a bit like Arsene Wenger, had a lot of power in the transfer market, decision making and whatnot, right? And he earned that right because he's Jurgen Klopp and he was able to win a Champions League and a Premier League. However, I do think Liverpool might have thought, you know what, we're giving them all this power and it's all been good and rosy. However, we might want to dial that back in a bit. And if that's the case, and this is how we move forward, this is the new structure that we're going to have, whether Klopp likes it or not. I think it could have been a factor, but dare I say, I don't think it was a factor at the time. But I do think if Jurgen Klopp was, let's say, if, for example, Jurgen Klopp wasn't leaving and Liverpool brought back all these people, I think there would have been a problem, personally.
I think there would have been a problem as well, because
yeah,
as much as people have been speculating, something obviously must have happened between Edwards and Klopp. We could only speculate, right? Between Ward and Klopp, because Ward left very abruptly after taking over the job. I mean, something must have happened there. And a lot of people, some people in business just don't get along. They just don't. The personalities don't mesh. There's always a tug of war, egos clash. There's multiple things that happen in business. But what I do know, and Kojo, you said it perfectly, FSG is a business model. These guys are businessmen. There's no way that they're not going to be calculated on looking at the future. They've clearly probably analyzed what has happened over the last few seasons with Jurgen and Pep Linders in charge, making sign-ins and so forth, and letting players walk and keeping players for too long. And they probably said in their head, I don't like this model. This isn't sustainable for us. Maybe we need to make a change. Maybe we need to bring Edwards back. And I know it was speculated that Edwards wanted to have full control of football, which is why he turned it down initially. But they probably gave it to him, and they probably brought this up to Klopp and says, hey, this is what we're thinking, and this is the options that we're going at. And because, yes, I don't deny that Klopp probably is tired because he's had no rest. He hasn't really truly mourned for his mom's death during the COVID season.
Facts, big facts.
All these things play into factor, but also if they're showing their cards to him as being respectful towards Klopp and says, hey, this is what we plan to do. This is what we want to do. We want to have this structure in place. Are you good with it? And then this could have been not the main reason. I think the tiredness and not having a break from football is probably the main reason, but this probably was a nail on the coffin for him, in my opinion. It could have been.
Yeah.
I think about his mum as well, though, because, man, to trap that emotion and just continue with work and stuff, especially with like the whole pandemic and everything as well, it was tough for a lot of people. And I think one thing he has humanitarian energy, Klopp. He's definitely somebody that teaches the players more about life than football, I think. You know, he's that kind of manager. And I think even down to himself, when it's time to kind of take a break, he's done that for Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool's no different. So he's got a rhythm of knowing when to take a break. And the beautiful thing about leaving on your own accord is you can also come back.
Yeah.
So don't write Klopp coming back in the future after, if ever needed to call the ball. That would also be a beautiful thing as well.
Now, we do know that if Slot doesn't work out, right, and Klopp has his break, and he loves the club clearly. I don't see him coaching any other club in England. And we know that if he did come back after getting his rest and so forth, that this whole issue or speculation between him and Edwards and Ward was not an issue. It was just like, you know what I mean? Klopp would come fully back. It would be like, okay, that squashed that debate. You know what I mean? He just comes back. It would be good. I love her here again. I mean, Drift would crucify me. I went Klopp out last year because I was fully fed up, but I got back on the train.
No, but the thing is, I can understand. Here's the thing. I think as fans, we are allowed to change our opinions and our minds as time goes on. There was a point in time where I think having faith in Liverpool was at a really bad and dark spot because we just wasn't doing well. If you look at last season and what we produced last season, no Liverpool fan could say they were happy. And you're probably thinking, is this still the right manager to take us forward? We have to remember, Bajan, when you said that, how do we not know that was the point when Klopp was like, I've had enough? That's the day he knew when he was like, I've got to make a break. I've got to, separate myself from Liverpool now because I've taken them as far as I can go. So that's why I can't even have a go at anybody at that time that said they were Klopp out, because Liverpool was in a real bad way. Yeah. And the way how results were, the way how the team looked, everything looked negative. You can see why people had those emotions and those feelings. And what's so crazy is that, you know, now he's saying, well, not now, but obviously when he announced that, what was it, back in November, December? Well, no, January. Was it January?
November.
When he announced it, everyone was shocked. But remember, it wasn't like a decision that he just made abruptly. It was a decision that he probably had in his mind for a while. To leave Liverpool is not something that you just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to leave. He must have thought about it for a minute. So that's testament to him that he's able to even continue sober. But going back to Jurgen Klopp, just quickly, guys. I know we're kind of going in between Jurgen Klopp and the structure, but do you think when that announcement was made, that was almost, dare I say it, the downfall of Liverpool season? So, Kojo, I'll start with you first, and then Bajan, I'll go to you next.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It's easy to say that. If we had won the title, people would have said it's because of that as well. I think. Listen, this season has been the weirdest season. Last season we were just rubbish, and I understood that, and it showed results. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've been rubbish, but it ain't been showing in the results. And I've said this before. I said this before. There's never been a season where we've been top for so long and I've been frustrated with my team. It's been a very weird season. I've never felt like we were top, ever, by the football that I've watched, yeah? And there's been moments where, like conceding first on so many occasions. People were getting so caught up in what happens at the end of the game, but not realizing that is not a performance of champions. You don't concede as many goals as we concede and win titles. Yet we thought we could go and do this Batman and Robin thing, yeah, for the whole season. When it's go down first, right? And then we'll just catch back up. And I think the Nunes game against Newcastle really gassed us up and thought we can just continue doing this. And it's never worked. It's never, ever worked. So for me, I wouldn't say that Klopp is the reason why it all went pear-shaped. I just think it was always going to happen because you get found out after a while. It's not football that you train for. It's football that you react to.
Aye. So, Bajan, let me ask you the same question. There's a bit of feedback in it. Can you not hear bad feedback? Is it me?
Yeah, I can hear feedback from somewhere. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I heard it just.
Hold on. All right. So hold on. It's not you, Kojo. Hold on, Bajan. Can you mute for 1 second?
Yeah.
It might be you, Bajan. It might be you.
Do you know what it is, bro? It sounds like someone's mowing the lawn or something.
Yeah, because people enjoying spring.
Don't worry about that. We'll work with it. Pause. We'll work with that. Regardless. Anyway, Bajan, just quickly as well, yeah? All right, so let me ask you the same question then. I reckon you're going to have a different answer. Do you think the whole Jurgen Klopp announcement offset Liverpool, in your opinion, like for the rest of the season?
Yes and no. And I'll tell you why. I think it put a lot of pressure on the players thinking that they need to do it all for the manager. And first off, I think that's a wrong approach. It should always be about club first, badge first before anyone else. But I also say no because these guys need to be held accountable. But Kojo is right. These guys gave us a false sense of security. We had no really good games this season other than the Aston Villa 3-0 at home. That was absolutely a really, really good game from beginning to end. We've leaked goals. I can't even tell you. We've gone behind over close to 70% of the season. We've gone a goal down. You can't win a title with that. You can't. It's impossible. So we were leaking out results. We were getting results on bad performances. And I mean, you guys' reaction shows. I mean, my team's reaction shows. We were calling it out. There was a lot of players that were having horrendous games, but we just nicked out a win or we came back. We were called the second half team. We were winning games in the second half every single week in, week out. That's not sustainable. So we're work in progress. I think we put ourselves to be in a title hunt, and really and truly we weren't in a title hunt. When you look at the quality that we were playing this season, it wasn't consistent enough to really truly be in the title hunt. But yeah, I think the pressure of some guys wanted to do it all for Klopp. And it carried them so far, but then the gas ran out, and we buckled.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah,
I was going to say one more thing as well. I think what was happening really took away the fact that we had so many new midfielders, yeah, and because things were going well results-wise, it really made us believe that everything just was happening and it all synced in. When in reality, it was false. It was false. It wasn't really sinking in. We didn't really want McAllister to play number 6. That wasn't the plan, right? There was a whole nother plan. We just didn't get those players. Then we brought Wataru in at the end. Thank God he proved to be okay. This wasn't the plan that Jurgen Klopp had, right? But the point I'm making is that all of these new signings were just working off of momentum. But I don't think that we were actually dominating teams and just blitzing everybody. We were going 1-0 down and coming back. So this is just a pattern that's just been happening. Jurgen Klopp's announcement made everything after emotional. So it wasn't, okay, let's just be tactical and win the games. It was all driven by it's his last season emotions. And then you start realizing results before you actually earn them.
Yeah.
All right, then. So if that's the case, then, all right. So basically, I'll ask you this. I'll ask you in a minute, Kojo, actually. Is it fair to say it's the players and not the manager as the downfall for Liverpool season? Because I think Kojo kind of alluded to. I think Kojo, go on.
I was never putting this on the manager.
Okay.
This is all on the players. 100%, bro.
Yeah.
You have to show that you want it. You have to want to play defense. You have to want to run through a wall for your teammate. If a guy gets taken out, go and fill his spot. We weren't doing that, man. We left people on islands by them get cooked, and then we had to rely on goalkeepers making worldies. I mean, Ali made a ton of worldly saves this year, but then when Kelleher came in, he made some crazy saves this year that you didn't expect Kelleher to make. You shouldn't be relying on the goalkeeper to doing that. So I put this squarely on the players. The other thing as well, for me, our team was playing really fluid when the youngsters were in and they were getting interchanged in and out. They weren't relying or overloading on one side. As soon as and this is not me going at Mohamed Salah, as soon as Salah came back and got integrated back into the team right away, that fluidity disappeared. And it just wasn't fluid anymore. They were just looking for Salah to do what Salah does. And it didn't work. It just didn't work.
That's a fair comment to say. So, all right, then. So, Kojo, I'm going to ask you a slightly different question. So, Bajan basically said he feels like the players have really let down Klopp, and I can understand where it's coming from. But let me ask you this then, Kojo, and see whether you agree or disagree. Do you think Klopp's tactics help the players? Because some people might say tactically, inverting when he shouldn't have been inverting, maybe substitutions that he shouldn't have made, picking players that maybe were out of form, he was still picking. What do you say to that, Kojo?
I think that's where he may have got tired. That's where I see the tiredness. Because when you're not tired, you're excited about the new ideas that could come in.
What you're saying, Klopp tired, you mean?
Yeah, right. Again, I think it's 90% on the players. But this is the first season where I've ever judged Klopp. Ever, me. I've always come to and what do I call him? The equalizer. Ox Drifty.
Yeah. You have.
I've never been worried about anything with my club because we got the equalizer, which is the manager. But this season, so many things happened where I thought, come on, I don't care what you do in training. Trent cannot be right back anymore because you found somebody at the club who has galvanized the whole fans organically and is screaming. We've been screaming for this, and we've had this player there all the time. And he's come back, and he's shown us that we can actually push Trent into the middle now because we have a suitable replacement to keep going on the fact that Trent isn't creating as much because he's not on the wing as much anymore. That's where his damage was, on the wing, right? But you're
So whose fault is that then? So that's the manager's fault then, right? Not the players.
Oh, yes, it's the manager's fault. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Trent, this season, it has to be his last season.
This ain't a shot at you, by the way, Bajan.
No, I'm just saying. It has
I can counter that.
And right back. And for me, this thing where Klopp has been accused of being loyal again to certain players has also, for me, paid the price. Yeah. What I found strange, and me and Drifty always have like WhatsApp back and forths here. But what I found strange this season, beyond him being injured, every time Liverpool are talking about a possible 11 for next season or our best 11, Jota's not even on the pitch.
That's because he always injured.
No, but my point is, it's a
striker by margin. By far, sorry.
Right? It's still a hypothetical question. So you're talking about players at the club.
Yeah.
And we all know we will put our house on Jota finishing a one-on-one over everybody else. But these are the things that Klopp, for me, was messing around with, yeah? Although, again, he was injured, but in there's times where he wasn't injured and he's on the bench, and we know he's the best finisher at the club, and we're not starting him. And I'm just like, man, if he's not fit, he shouldn't be on the bench. He shouldn't, and that's his own policy. If they're not fit, they're not going to make the bench. So for me, there's many games where he could have started, and if you want to bring him off because he's been injured or out of thing for time, then that's fair enough. But you always start with your best, for me. You don't try and fit somebody in because you want them to do well. We're not having the season where we can afford to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So for me, this is the first season where I've judged a lot of Klopp's decision making. Yeah, even like Gakpo, what position do you want him to play?
All right, so he's gone on record and said that he apologizes regarding Gakpo because he said, like, at the start of the season, he played him midfield, and he played him centre forward, and he played him right wing, left wing. And he said, like, how is a player supposed to get confidence if they keep being moved about? And he said, that's on him. And he's like, now finally Cody's been able to settle down. And that's why I wanted to ask you that question, Kojo, because I do think, for me personally, it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of the manager. I think it's a bit of the players. I think it's more on the players. So I kind of like what Bajan's saying. I think it is more on the players. Like, I don't know whether I'm going to ask Bajan now. In fact, Bajan, I'll ask you now. Are you in agreement with me that, like, the manager has to take some flack? And obviously, but it's more the players. But we can't just say the manager had no input in terms of for our downfall, because tactically, like Kojo saying, like, maybe the decisions that weren't right, players that shouldn't really be playing. Like, what do you think about that, Bajan?
Yeah, I mean, there's some questionable decisions that Klopp has made, and I agree 100%. Yeah. But I still put this at least 95% of the players, and I'll tell you why. Arsenal scored way more goals than us, and we've had 130 more chances than them. That's not being clinical. That means that you can't hit the bars in the backing nets. That's not on the manager. That's on the players not finishing their lunch. And sadly, we miss Jota. He's our best finisher, right? Salah has never been clinical in his career, although he's bagged a whole bunch of goals, but he's not been clinical. Nunes is not clinical. Gakpo has been played here, there, and everywhere, so he can't get into any sort of rhythm in a right position, which he should be playing on the left side, in my opinion, only, and fill in the 9 spot if you need him. But it's because these guys just can't hit flipping well nets, and it's crazy. Look at how many games that we've had tapping goals and we've missed. You can call one is Brighton. At Brighton, Gravenberch missed an open net. You go to Luton, Darwin Núñez missed 2 sitters. That's just 2. You got Trent against
Luton game is. I'll be real. That
Trent
Luton miss. Yeah, Trent Arsenal was bad. That was bad.
That's just 3 games, and there's many more that we've missed sitters.
Oh, there's more.
And you know what? I think though, again, moving forward and kind of thinking about the future, right? What I would hate to see happen is we lose our position as the chance that club that creates the most chances. Yeah, this is why if you take stats and move them into another club, you would think Nunes is a world-class striker. But the fact that Liverpool create way more than everybody, it's not acceptable. And this is you know, I'm sure we'll get to the players later on, but like these are the things I'm talking about. We still even this season, 130 more chances than everyone else. We've been doing that for the last 7 seasons. That's why Salah gets the numbers he gets, because his ratio is probably a little bit better than Nunes. But take that.
Nah, it's a lot better. It's a lot better. It's a lot better.
No, but hold on. What I'm saying to you
is a lot better.
But I know what you mean, though, in terms of why he's scoring that many goals.
Right.
I know what you mean.
If we was a club that got 3 or 4 chances a game,
yeah, then it becomes an issue. Agreed.
And then you're going to be vexed with Salah. You're going to be like, this guy misses too many. But Salah misses a bag of chances.
No, he does. Especially this version of Salah since he's come back from injury. I mean, even Salah in his prime would still miss. He's not clinical. He's not basically. He's not a Harry Kane.
No, he's not. Even Salah's first season, when he went on a tear and he scored all them goals. Do you guys know how many misses
he missed? He could have had about 70 for the season. You know?
Easy.
Think about Mane as well. All the passes that he didn't pass to Mane. All think about And I'm saying, like, in context, there's a lot more to be asked of people like Salah. There's a lot more to be asked of people like Bobby Firmino. But because we accepted Bobby Firmino's role, the pressure of scoring goals wasn't on him, because he was a master, because he had game intelligence. We all know football. When I watch a person, I don't care if they're missing. If I see game intelligence, it's only a matter of time. When I don't see a game intelligence, that's when I'm like, you got to go.
Yeah. The only thing, on top of the missed chances, our defense has been absolutely atrocious this season. Let's just call that. It can't be just one side of the pitch; it's the other side. It's been bad.
I mean, you're not ready to go into that conversation. Let's go there.
No, we're gonna go into before we do that, because what we'll do is we're gonna speak about defense, midfield, and attack. So we'll get onto that and how we feel we can improve, or what players should leave, what player we should bring. We'll get into that in a second. Big up the chat each and every time. Big up KC says, big up to Team Kopish every time, and big up Kojo for featuring, man. Always keeps it real. People smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. Big up KC. Jamrot says, Matt, you think we could have scored 1 goal and beat Man United? Not this current Liverpool.
Yeah, we would have conceded, man.
We would have conceded. But I reckon I'm guessing, Jamrot, you're saying that's where we need to be. At a level where we can win with a 1-0. I always thought this. You see, Bajan, what he's basically saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, Jamrot, the way how this Liverpool team is constructed, we're not very good at winning games that are like 1-0.
Agreed.
And clean sheet. Do you agree with that?
100%.
Like,
we've only had 5 clean sheets at home all season, bro.
That's 5.
But you know what's funny? Yeah, do you remember earlier on in the season, maybe until like January, it was between us and Arsenal for the best defense. This is what's crazy. This is what I'm saying. This season has been weird.
Now we've fallen off though, but we're gonna get into that though. We're gonna get into that.
Lucky that teams weren't scoring.
I know, because because they were just having off days, and Alisson was pulling out wonder saves, which he does all the time. And big up. And Dill says, why I said anyone can do well in our front 3. I get what you mean, because like what Bajan said, chance creation is so high. Like you said, Kojo, chance creation is so high at Liverpool that you kind of feel like any decent forward with finishing ability should be getting a decent amount of goals. And it's crazy when you look at
Could you imagine Isak in our squad with the amount of chances that we've had?
Bro, we're going to get onto our front line because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, so have I, actually. So have I.
I'm glad you do, bro, because you're going to need your Nunes Defense League cap on today, I'll be honest.
I know, because,
we're going to get into that anyway. We're going to that. Jammer says, we'll go into games needing to score minimum 2 goals. Facts. Agreed. Facts. That is how we are kind of set up at the moment. All right, guys. So just moving on now. We'll go through like defense before the attack. So we'll start with defense here, guys. I'll just quickly say my piece, and then obviously I'll let you guys have your say. Defensively, we've definitely dropped off this season. It's for all to see. I've been saying it since the third game of the season. Our transitions in defense are a disgrace. So when we attack and the move breaks down, when we have to get back into shape, it's like people don't know what to do and where to be. And it happens game after game after game. Not only that, the way we are asked to play, it's almost like we need to have cavalier defending. And when I say cavalier defending, every moment, Bajan, you'll appreciate this because you're a basketball man. It's ISO. Kanate and Virgil, Kanate and Virgil or Virgil and Kwanzaa, one-on-one with their attackers every single game. I don't see you see Arsenal, have to give Arsenal props for this. Arsenal, when they structurally get back into defense, you'll see a 4-4-2, mid to low block, and they'll say break us down. Liverpool aren't disciplined like that, and it frustrates me because it hasn't even got anything to do with personnel. It's actually instructions and player desire to want to do that. Bajan, I'll go to you next. What's your thoughts on our defense, bro?
Facts, bro, 100%. Because, like you said, Arsenal, when they go back in defense, they're in a 4-4-2. We got a back two when we're in transition. There's two center backs with zero help because Robbo's on the left bombing up, Trent's on the right playing midfield. We look better defensively when Bradley was at right back.
Facts.
Because although Bradley was going up and down the pitch, he was coming back on defense. When Trent is in the midfield, Ibu is being asked to cover his position and the right position. And every single time, every time you're on a one-on-one, it's like we're playing basketball. Fact analogy, Matt. One-on-one, you're going to get cooked. That's why we conceded so many goals. That's why we've been behind the 8 ball every single time for the last how many months? Anyone can tell me when's the last time we went, other than recently when we went 1-0 ahead of any team? Because I can tell you it's probably back in December.
Yeah. It reminds me of, again, you'll appreciate this again. Do you remember when OKC had Westbrook and KD? And in the playoffs, it was just ISO, give the ball to Westbrook, give the ball to KD. No plays were set. No screen and rolls, no pick and rolls. Literally, clear out. ISO, we're going one-on-one. That is literally what Liverpool do from a defensive point of view. Move breaks down. Don't worry, guys. We've got Virgil and Ibu, and they are such athletes. They can contain any attack. I'm so sick of seeing it.
Me too.
Kojo, I'll ask you. Do you think Liverpool's defense is more down to structure, desire, or something else? Like, what do you think the real issue with Liverpool's defense, bro?
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I know. You look like you're summoning still. Some Naruto. You're about to do some hand signs. Yeah,
May say something controversial.
Oh boy! All right, should I take a drink? All right, let's go.
Yeah, but I'm going there because this has been on my spirit.
Big up the chat as well. Big up the chat each and every time.
Big up everyone in the chat. Let me tell you something.
Big up.
First of all, I've heard Jurgen on numerous occasions say that the way Liverpool play is intentional, so they don't mind conceding opportunities against the opponents. Yeah, where it's like it's all about the ball recovery, right? So he's saying because they tried to recover it up high, they may leave gaps where they're vulnerable, right? I've heard him say that on numerous occasions. The defense, Ibu Kanate, his best game was against Arsenal when there was no Virgil. When he's asked to lead, yeah, I've seen a whole different caliber from him when the responsibility falls on him. Yeah, I think a lot of this season, everybody's been reliant on the fact that Van Dijk's there. Yeah, and because of that, it's made people not deliver how they're supposed to deliver from a unique standpoint. Yeah, so like for example, sometimes you got to let a player like Harry Kane go because the team responsibility, right, becomes more attentive. We ain't got him to rely on. And I feel like, so I'm saying with Van Dijk there, a lot of the times it's, we got Van Dijk, so we're going to be okay. And I feel like for me, that's a huge problem. Now, the controversial thing that I'm going to say is this.
All right, go on.
I blame this season's defensive woes on Virgil van Dijk.
Oh my gosh.
And let me tell you why I blame it on him. You are not only the captain of the football club, yeah. You are the mainstay in that defense. I understand that he makes other players better, but that has not happened this season. Let's cut the crap. That has not happened this season. I'm starting to think making him captain has been a very, very bad decision. Yeah?
What?
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
I'm hearing you. Yeah, go on.
I think it's a very, very bad decision because sometimes you can give it to the best player, right? But sometimes they get distracted by it and forget what their job is. Yeah? Your job is to defend the first. Every time a goal goes in, it's like he's looking for someone else to blame when on many occasions his casual football, yeah, has now been spread along the whole back four. Everybody takes 8 touches before they do anything with it. What happened to the Liverpool that was electrifying and pacey and close people down very, very quickly? It's now become everybody's trying to be like Van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Kwanzaa, Konate, even Trent. Think about the old Arsenal defense. You had a Martin Keown and you had a Tony Adams. They were not the same. Sami Hyypiä and Stefan Honcho, not the same. Everybody's trying to do this social media and trying to be like Virgil van Dijk. We need somebody that just passes the ball quickly. Somebody who's very, very aggressive, may get a couple of yellow cards, but everybody feels like they're taking pictures when they're defending at Liverpool. And for me, it's been my number one frustration that they're mirroring Van Dijk, and we don't need 4 Van Dijks. We need one and someone else who has a different type of defending. And right now, all I see in our defense is 4 Van Dijks, where everyone's taking their time and not building play quick enough. Yeah, that's what we used to do, right? But we've become predictable. That ping that Van Dijk does, they clocked it. That's why Mo Salah has been getting run out of games, because they see it coming. Where's the creativity? Where's the invention? For me, I feel like Van Dijk statistically might show good numbers, but on the eye test, he slows the game down and everyone else is following suit, and I can't stand it. And I tell you what, I don't want Van Dijk to leave. But if he did leave, I wouldn't be mad.
What?
I said it. I had to inhale before I said it, man. I had to inhale.
Kojo. No, wait. Kojo.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Kojo, you're my boy, yeah. You're
Matt,
my boy, but fam.
Matt, listen to what I'm saying to you. Sometimes when you hold on to the best player, everybody comes lazy. When the best player goes, everybody wakes up again. That's all I'm saying. Look at Tottenham.
All right, I get. All right. So what you're basically saying, I think I know what you mean. So that, all right, all jokes aside, you're saying
team
you
first.
still rate him. You still rate him, and you still think he's an amazing defender. But you're saying maybe people are, maybe his attitude at times can kind of seep into others' pores, and you're seeing other people take that kind of nonchalant reaction or response when they should be proactive, like a Konate who, like you said, has played better when Virgil you think is not playing. All right, then, so
hold on. Everybody in the back four is calm as you like, bro.
All right.
Can't 4 defenders like that. We can't.
I'm gonna not rebuttal, but I'm gonna have a difference of opinion. So I do agree. If someone has like a bad game and someone can be a bit nonchalant, it can rub off on other players. Yeah, pause. Yeah, but for me personally, if we actually look at it, up until say maybe March, I would have said Van Dijk has been clear our best defender, you know, and I think he's led by example. I think what's happened is for Virgil, in my opinion, is that having to play with a Konate, having to play with a Kwanzaa, and play with a different defender nearly week in, week out because of obviously Konate's fitness problems, and Kwanzaa be in at the team as well when Klopp wants to chop and change. It has hampered Virgil. And you have to remember, when you're the leader, you want to forge a partnership. The one reason I would even say as well, like you've got a Saliba and a Gabriel, in my opinion, that are the best partnership, is because they play week in, week out. Yeah, consistently. And we've been unfortunate this season due to injuries, suspensions, what have it.
34 games, if I'm not mistaken. Them two have played together this season, Saliba and
yeah, they have. Yeah, I think it's 34,
yeah,
33.
34 games. Yeah.
When you and again, like, when you build up that rapport with another defender, you kind of know their strengths and their weaknesses. Now, I know Virgil probably knows Konate's strengths and weaknesses, yeah, but he's kind of had to like relearn with Kwanzaa, and that's why I think you've seen different games or performances with Virgil van Dijk with the two of them, right? I don't think Virgil's a problem though. I think the whole thing of maybe you could maybe say the captaincy has added more pressure, and maybe his response hasn't been maybe what you'd expect at times. But I kind of also feel like as well is we've got the players around him need to remember, and this is why you have to have a go at the players playing with him. Kwanzaa and Ibu know he's not the same Van Dijk from 18-19.
No, they don't.
No, I know they don't, but they are human beings. They can think for themselves. They need to understand this is a guy that's come back off an ACL. He's not going to be the marauding 18-19 Van Dijk that we were kind of used to. The guy that challenged Traore on that one-on-one at the Molyneux when Traore kicked it past him and was like, "Are you going to run for that?" And Virgil was like, "Are you stupid? I'll get to the ball before you." Virgil just breathed to the ball, moved him off it, right? It's not the same Virgil. That's why I have to look at the players, you know. It's not Virgil.
But hold on, I did say that. I did say that it's like they idolize him so much that they want to be like him, but we don't need another Virgil.
I say Kwanzaa wants to be more like Virgil, not because Konate is a different defender. They're different. Konate is more the bullish. You could so how I see it, Virgil's the kind of not laid back, but he will assess the situation and he'll make the right move when he needs to. He's playing chess, yeah. Konate plays dominoes. Two, like Konate is just smacking down the domino. Yeah. Am I lying? They're different defenders. Facts, am I lying, Bajan?
Facts. You know what's the other thing that does my head in with this team defensively? Yeah. These players don't know how to take a tactical foul. Take a yellow card, man. It drives me nuts. You would see this team pushing at us. They got a man advantage. And you be running next to this man. Take him down. Take the yellow card.
Yeah.
Like, did we forget how to do those things? This is what championship teams do. Take the yellow card. You're going to let him give a through ball in for a goal opportunity? Just foul him. Pull him back your shirt. Take the yellow. Walk away. Let me go.
I agree. I don't know how you guys feel about this inverted thing, but we ain't got the players for that.
Not a fan.
Yeah, we don't have to play him.
Not working.
And you either play him in midfield. Ain't nobody want to see Joe Gomez in no damn midfield. I'm sorry. Anybody want to see Robertson in no damn midfield? Listen, we don't need that. We have the fullbacks who had the most assists over the last couple of years. Why have we done this? Make a decision on Trent. Is he your midfielder or is he a defender? Because you're trying to get both out of him because everybody's saying maybe he has to move on. You're trying to have one eye on what everybody's saying, but stick to your laurels. And I'm like, it's affected the team. The boy can't defend. Stop this. Because we're highlighting moments when he actually defends. You don't do that to defenders.
No,
you don't do that to defenders. You see what I'm trying to say?
Apologies, guys. I'm going to have to move the conversation on a little bit because I didn't realize the time.
Hold
it's
on.
7 o'clock. Yeah, no. We're not finishing. I'm just saying we're going to have to move on to the next. Yeah, go on.
The defenders. I got
to go on.
Please, let's stop doing this Joe Gomez thing, please. Can we just sell him? Can we please just sell Joe Gomez?
You want to sell Joe Gomez after the season he's had?
Listen to me.
Go.
You're saying after the season he's had when we've been rubbish. And you're saying after the season he's had, he stepped in for Robbo. We get it. And I understand. But in the season where we've been rubbish, you're highlighting a defender. Joe Gomez, you're highlighting him in the season that we've been rubbish. Come on, we are Liverpool Football Club. Please, I'm saying he's not going to start in any of our first 11s. He's not. If you're talking about squad player, fair enough. But he's in the England squad now.
I mean, all right, Bajan, what's your thoughts on Joe Gomez in regards to what Kojo is? Kojo's saying he wants us, he would want him sold. What's your thoughts on Joe Gomez?
Gomez has been a good squad player this year. He's been good at left back. He's not a good center back. I've been calling him out from center back position last season. They said I don't ever want to see him play center back once again, and luckily he hasn't really played there. He's done a good job when he's been asked to fill in, but he's not an everyday starter. He's a good squad player. I mean, for your homegrown quota, he's good to hold into your team. But if he wants to walk away this summer and go somewhere else and get consistent starting time, then he can go, in my opinion.
I want him to go to another club, and then when we play them, you see how much we're gonna roast him. You're gonna see it, bro. I'm telling you, brother. I'll put this down to his injuries, because let's not act like he wasn't the man at one point. He was the man at one point.
Yeah, of course.
He ain't been that for time, and I feel like he just needs to go to a club where he can be starting on a regular basis and prove that he's the centre back that he believes he still is. But for me, I can't be emotional no more. We're trying to move forward and get back to challenging. And Tsimikas and the Gomez's of this world, they're squad players, but our bench needs to be stronger than them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Gomez starting again today, just so you know.
I was just about to... Great segue, because here's the lineup for today's game against Aston Villa. So, Alisson, Joe Gomez, who we're just speaking about, Endo, Van Dijk, Diaz, McAllister, Salah, Gakpo, Elliott, Trent, Kwanzaa. So if I'm not mistaken, that means Gomez is at left back, and then obviously centre backs are Virgil and Kwanzaa, right back Trent. In midfield, it looks like he's going with Endo, Elliott, and McAllister, and then the front three of Salah, Gakpo, Diaz. On the bench, Kelleher, Ibu, Soberslide, Nunes, Jones, Tsimikas, Gravenberch, Bajcetic, Bradley. Just a quick one, guys. What's your response to that team? You guys happy? You guys not happy?
The only one that surprised me is Gomez. I had Robinson starting.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Robinson starting, and I don't think Konate's been that bad where he hasn't.
I had
games.
I had every single one of these players.
But all I ask for this game, please keep Gomez on player cam. That's all I ask. Just keep Gomez on your player cam for this.
Yeah, you don't rate Joe Gomez, do you? Be honest. I think he's had a good season. That's the thing. I think he's had a good season.
Hold on. We're saying he's had a good season in a season where we've been diabolical at the back. So if you want to take that, then fair enough. But all I'm saying to you is, please just have him on player cam for this game. Matt, you especially. Have him on player cam for this game. Yeah, keep one eye on him, like just detailed, and then tell me what you think after the game.
Here's one thing I will say about Joe Gomez that does my head in. When he's at left back, can any of you explain to me why he needs to invert? Isn't the inverting thing strictly for Trent? Why is Joe Gomez inverting? He's not that type of player.
I'm gonna be real, bro.
Is that instruction?
I don't understand why we invert Joe Gomez. It don't make no sense. Because if you invert Joe Gomez, that theoretically means the right back needs to be a right-sided centre back.
There you go.
I'm gonna be, but this is what I'm saying about the tactics. I know we blame the players, but we have to look at the manager and we have to look at some of the tactical decisions that he's made. And that's why I want to have this conversation with you guys, because it's interesting that I think we all agree that the players have definitely let Klopp down. But I also feel like Jurgen Klopp has sent out some mixed messages to the players where it's like, I need Joe Gomez to invert from left back. Why is Joe Gomez inverting? So what does that mean to the right-sided centre-back? What really should happen is... Yeah, go on.
What it means is anybody can invert. That's what it means. You can tell anybody, I need you to invert.
That's what it seems to be. Agreed.
Yeah, like, we're just inverting for inverting sake. Like, what? This is literally...
Peter, make me come out of rain. Peter, come out of rain. You know, see that get bad. Peter, we are going to blood clot, Peter, you're nearly dead.
Listen, yeah. You see when they ask Klopp, they're going to ask Klopp, Jurgen, like, we understand Trent inverting. But Jurgen, What's your reasons for inverting Joe Gomez? This will be Klopp's response.
As I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months, and knowing out.
I don't think he'll have an answer. Big up Jurgen, because he's our manager and we love him. But you know, like you can still have a disagreement with a legend. You can still have a disagreement with someone. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand the inverting Joe Gomez. To me, it don't make sense. It doesn't make no sense. Invert the right back, but not the left back. All right, so moving on to quickly, guys, because we got to move on quickly. Actually, midfield. We have big changes in our midfield this season, and rightly so. Fresh impetus in the team. Some have lived up to the hype. Some have underperformed. Some have kind of just fallen off the map. So to say,
Fall off a cliff.
I know exactly what Bajan's talking about. So I ain't going to Bajan first. I'm going to go.
Squidly settings, bro. Run straight through the king ground, bro.
I'm going to Kojo first. Yeah. Kojo, you see the midfield? The midfield had to have a whole revamp, yeah. Going forward, what would you change in that midfield? What would you change and what would you keep in the midfield?
Sorry, we've just been joined by Drake. Well gone.
Nah, don't, because Drake got cooked, bro. Don't.
As I ain't beefing. Well gone, Drake. So midfield, yeah. I'm going to be on the midfield because I feel like the fans got carried away because they started so well, right? And with all of the signings that we wanted, that we missed out on or whatever, everything was kind of like magnifying glass, and everything was, McAllister was having a nightmare in the beginning at the 6. I don't care what anyone says. Then he got used to it, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we like him there, and then it's like, no, yeah. So for me, I'm going to give them all the new players that come grace. Still not quite sure what Gravenberch what is being asked of him. Not really sure. I'm not having Jones. I'm not having Curtis Jones. I'm not having him. Unless he's going to be a squad player and he understands that. But that kid's got a little bit too much confidence for what I see him actually deliver on a consistent basis as a Liverpool player. He's had injuries and I understand that, but the same energy that they give in Marcus Rashford where they say he's not a kid anymore is the same thing that I'm going to put on Curtis Jones. At some point, you got to show and prove, right? And for me, in the Liverpool team that I want and what I think we're capable of, he don't start. Trent is better than him in midfield, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd have.
Oh wow, raw.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'd have McAllister over Jones. So Bosley, I think he started really well. So we've seen the potential of him, but he didn't really maintain it. But for me personally, I think he's got more in his locker than Jones. I think Jones has 100 touches before he makes a decision. And every now and again he'll do something to make you go, oh, that's what I see in him. But it's not consistent enough. Harvey Elliott is over Curtis Jones to me. Harvey Elliott. And that's somebody who is young and consistent. You know what you're going to get with Harvey Elliott. He chases the ball down. He gets it back really quickly. His recovery is great. And he makes quick decisions. Curtis Jones, for me, it's just too slow. Too slow. He's not as good as he thinks he is. I'm sorry. Not right now, anyway. Not right now. So that's my only qualm about midfield in terms of like the center. Like I want Trent in that midfield. They got to figure it out for me. And in our strongest midfield, he starts for me.
Fair play. All right, just quickly. All right, then. So,
Wataru.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Need another.
All right, just quickly, for administration. Are you saying, all right, should Endo be the starting DM for Liverpool next season?
No.
Or you want to put him as a squad player for that season?
Squad player. Let's not overhype what he is. He's been brilliant for us, but let's just understand that that's not what we wanted. There was 2 players that we wanted. We didn't get none of them. He's come in and he surprised everybody and done better than we thought he was going to do. But let's not get carried away next season and think that's our standard.
I agree. All right, so Bajan, moving on to you now. Then Jeff, I'll get to you next. Midfield, Kojo made a big point about Curtis Jones, and he would basically Kojo, correct me if I'm wrong, was saying he doesn't feel like he should be a starter, should be a squad player, maybe a bit too comfortable, a bit too brazen on the ball, so to speak. What's your thoughts on that, and what changes would you make in the midfield if you'd make any for next season?
I don't think Curtis Jones is fully fit, to be honest. I don't even think he should be back on the pitch playing. I don't think he's fully recovered. Since he's had that injury, he has not been the same player. But prior to the injury, Curtis Jones was one of our better midfielders. From a defensive standpoint, he was doing a really, really good job. So I think Curtis Jones is a squad player. I don't think he should be a starter each and every game. But there are particular games that you do need what he does, in my opinion. Endo definitely is not starting next season. We need a new DM, 100%. And Kojo, I know you're talking about Trent in the midfield, but where are you playing him in the midfield? He can't defend at right back, and you want him to to be
as an 8. I want him to be the
Nah, he's gonna get cooked, bro. His head's got to be on a swivel all around him in order to be an 8. He's not gonna be able to handle that. And the other thing, you play him at an 8, you're taking away his long range passing. The only place in midfield that Trent works is in a double pivot role, where he can still see the whole pitch. He's got the defenders behind him to protect him. You're running the double pivot. That way he can use and pick the passes away.
Playing for England, he does it. He's got more range in the middle when he does it for England. They've played him there. I don't see that he scores goals in the midfield for England. I think we need him further up on the pitch. I don't think he should have to worry about defending because he can't defend.
We'll see. But for me, Szoboszlai has been disappointing. He's squiddly, run through the cane ground, fall off the cliff, belly flop straight into the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know what happened to him, but you know what? Yeah, he's been asked to do something he's not meant to do. He's asked to do the Tendo role, protecting Trent, covering a lot of pace. His main position is in the 10, in the mid right side, but middle of the part where he can use his shot ability, and he does have techiness with the ball, but he's not being asked to do that right now in the system. So Matt, you're right. It goes right back to the system once again. For me, the player that probably needs to go out on loan, because I think he still needs a lot of work. He's probably going to end up to be a really, really good player, but Gravenberch, I'm not very sold on. I think he's very, very soft as a player. He can be pushed and bullied off a ball. I don't know what it is about the Dutch players, but nah, I'm not sold on it. I like aggressive players. I'm not sold on it. So not selling, but put him out on loan. But we do need to fill. McAllister is definitely the right-sided 8 for me, but we got to see what kind of system that Slot is going to play. But he likes a 4-2-3-1, so you got a double pivot, and then you got the 3 and you're going to have a 10. So Matt can play a 10. We're going to see. We got to see. But I'm not selling anyone really and truly. For me, Gomez if he wants to go, but if any player wants to go, they can go. I don't have any ties to any player, to be honest. My favorite players don't play for Liverpool no more. So
no, fair play. So Jiff, I'll ask you then. So regarding the midfield, Kojo did make a big statement, but he just made a statement regarding Curtis Jones, saying you don't think Curtis Jones should be starting for Liverpool, should be a squad player. Not only that, he was saying that how maybe Jones is a bit too like he's confident, but a bit too overconfident. Maybe doesn't move the ball quick enough as well at times as well. Are there any changes that you would make to Liverpool's midfield? First of all, what's your thoughts on Curtis Jones? And what's your thoughts on the DM spot for Endo?
Endo has to be benched, and then we bring in a starting 6, but I think he's a brilliant squad player, so I haven't got no issue with that. Jones is a squad player, but I think depending on what the game is, he can be a starting player. And who is the other player you asked me?
So it was Endo, Jones, and then would you make any changes like in the midfield area? Like,
it would just be the DM. It would be the DM. If you've got a world-class DM, then McAllister and Jones and Soboslai and Trent, if you move them into a midfield, is more than enough to carry the eights. So and remember, we've got Besetic, who hopefully will grow and get better this season as well. And remember, naturally, Besetic is more of an 8 than a 6, remember? So you can also consider him for both roles in the team as well. Yeah, I think the midfielders, remember, that was the first year of a lot of those players gelling, getting used to each other, being at the club. We did exceptionally well with players who've just got to the club. Like 4 brand new midfielders in one summer is unheard of. It's never been done before. We punched above our weight and got where we got because Klopp's as good as he is, and we do have world-class players in the team. So yeah, I mean, yeah, do you know what? Even Elliot playing in that role, he's proved he can. He's better in the 10, but he's proved he can play in the 8. In the midfield, we're fine. I just think everyone's just got to get used to playing together, get, used to the new system. And then, yeah, we get a proper DM. If we had Rodri in our team, like, even the games where we kind of have been poor, we would have still won those games because we wouldn't have let in some of the goals we did because we would have been more structurally stronger, right? It took Endo 3 or 4 months to get up to speed. McAllister playing there and we weren't utilising him properly in the 8. If we get a proper DM, I think the midfield will be fine. And again, I don't want to slate him, so I'm not going to go into it. But Soboslai has definitely got to pull his finger out. Definitely. All he had to do is up his performances by 30%, because his performances were like 5%. They're on the floor. Like, it was red. If he'd even upped that to like 35, 40%, there's some games we drew or lost where I think we probably would have won because his midfield performance was lacking. So, yeah.
You know how supposedly operating. You know what he guys is do that cliff jumping by Rick's Cafe and the Grill.
Yeah.
You take the bicycle and ride straight off the cliff and face plant right in the water. That's what happened to Sabazla.
And I have a question quickly, Chris, about the midfield. In hindsight, do you feel like had signed a Lavia or a Caicedo, knowing the seasons that they've had, we would have been in a better place?
No, because Lavia didn't play all season.
And Caicedo's performances, would you not think?
Do you know, if I'm being honest, you see hindsight. All right, so this is how I look at it.
Caicedo was held back by Enzo for me.
We didn't get either of them, right? They both, one of them could have signed for Liverpool, and they might not have got injured, but we don't know that. You can only go by what you've seen. Yeah. I swear how life works, innit? If we would have signed maybe Caicedo maybe has a better season. If we would have maybe signed Lavia, maybe Lavia doesn't get injured, right? But I'm just looking at what Endo's been able to do has been very, very good. And I reckon when he was at his best, he was being asked to do something that he probably... It was hard to sort of like continue to keep doing continuously at a high level. If I'm being real, I still think getting Endo was a bold choice by Jurgen Klopp. Because I'm going to say Jurgen Klopp and not Liverpool, because Klopp said he wanted Endo, even though I do think it's a bit like... Sometimes when Klopp says these things, it's like, bro, really? Like, was it just the guy that was available at that time and for the money that you wanted to spend? Because I'll be so shocked Liverpool don't go for a DM, and I know it's not going to be Jurgen Klopp, but we assume it'll be Arne Slot, and I'm going to say Arne Slot is going to want a new DM in the summer.
All day.
That's what I think. And in my opinion, if you have a DM of international / world-class level, so you got international world-class, Liverpool are better already. That's not even taking into consideration structure, which I think under Arne Slot, if he's the man who we think he is, and he's able to translate his instructions from Eredivisie to Premier League, we should be better defensively. We should be. So,
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how you lot feel about that, but yeah, we, in my opinion, I don't want to be disrespectful to Endo, but I don't think you can win a Premier League with Endo as the starting CDM. That's not me to be disrespectful. But some people, Bajan, when we signed him, they were over the moon saying, give him a chance. And listen, he improved. And when he was doing well, I gave him his props and his flowers, pause or whatever. But I just said, listen, he's doing well, but let's see what happens in it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But quickly before we go, people, because we're gonna have to wrap this up kind of soon, actually, because we've got a game in about half an hour. Let's move on to the attack. Drift just left at the wrong point because I wanted to really get his thoughts on a certain striker.
Drift gonna ban me.
Yeah, so Bajan, I'll go to you first. Our attack, I'll read it out quickly. Salah, legend, but could be leaving. Jota, injured, but I still think he stays. Darwin Núñez hasn't been the player that a lot of people thought he would be. Future could be up in the air. Diaz, consistently flirting with a move away from Liverpool, if you believe what was said in the press. And Gakpo seems like he's finally found his way at Liverpool. First and foremost, do you think Liverpool need to fully upgrade their front line? If not, what changes would you make at Liverpool for the front line?
100% they need to upgrade. Diaz, to me, needs to go.
Oh, raw. Okay.
Gakpo should be your left side player. Mm-hmm. He does more than what Diaz does, in my opinion. He's actually a goal scoring threat.
I'm not joking because of what you said. Excuse me. I agree.
Núñez is not the everyday starter for me. Squad player. He can come in, help out, do his thing, be a second half sub. He needs a lot of work, in my opinion. He's still way too raw to have all that pressure on him. And I think it's too much pressure on him, to be honest, and his head's not strong enough to handle that. You know, when they say mental fortitude, he doesn't have it. He's just chaos, and that's not good. That can't win you a title. Ivan Toney, for me, is a striker I want. You can get him on a cheap. He would be way more clinical than Núñez is. Jota, for me, love Jota, but his availability is my issue. So if he wants to go, he can go. Salah, if he wants to go, he can go. But if he wants to stay, he can stay. But I want to see another player on the right side. I want to see another player push Salah, maybe Kubo, to compete with him on the right side.
Yeah. Kubo, yeah.
There's some other players that can do that as well. Even Núñez can be the backup for Gakpo on the left. And maybe come in and bring two. If we could bring in two solid nines, you bring Ivan Toney and then go mad. Kudos works as well on the right side, but Kubo I like a lot. I like Kubo a lot.
Okay, more say than say you like Kubo from that. What about Kudus? Maybe from West Ham.
Kudus is good. He's a good player. But I think Kubo has way more upside than Kudus does, to be honest.
Okay, fair play.
And Kubo is rapid. Like, he is quick. But I would actually go and take a double strike. I would shift Núñez to the left, and the left side would be Gakpo and Núñez. And in the middle, it would be Ivan Toney, and then go and spend your money and bring in Alexander Isak and have the two of them battle it out for your nine. We just need someone to finish the ball. If we can get Toney and Isak as two nines, then we're good. Because the amount of chances we create, guy's going to finish their food.
I hear that. I agree with you. The only thing I would disagree, with is, in my opinion, I don't think Núñez is even good enough to be a left winger. I think it's more we see as an asset of his pace and his directness that we can maybe use on the flank. However, I do think we would still get frustrated because I don't think his ball control is of a level that we would feel okay with. And if you look at like Diaz or even a Gakpo, their ball retention is way better than Núñez. They might not be as dynamic. I just think Núñez is dynamic. But in terms of playing on the wing, I think we would get frustrated with him. But that's the only thing I disagree with you. But everything else I agree with you, bro. Kojo, regarding the front line to what Bajan said, what would you change in Liverpool's front line? And how's your feelings on Darwin Núñez as well? I big up Darwin if he's watching, because there are Liverpool players apparently that watch the channel, so big up to them. So yeah.
I hope he's watching.
Oh boy.
He's got to go. He's got to go. This is Liverpool football. I'll never ever drop the standards of strikers that we have at this club. I would never. I refuse to. We have had some of the best strikers the world has ever seen, and I refuse to accept Darwin Núñez. 2 years is enough to know whether you can rely on somebody. Then the amount of money we spent on him is someone that you aim to rely on. It's not squad player money. Yeah? And him to resort to being a squad player is a waste of money as far as I'm concerned. Yeah? We know what to do when we need a David Ngogo, or what's the other guy? Origi. We know the budget for that sub player that comes on and does something for you, gives you another option. He is not another option. He's either your main striker or you got to sell him. And I feel like Italy is where he'll probably thrive. Somewhere was a little bit slow, where his pace will be a bit more effective. The Premier League, for me, it's about game intelligence. I know a footballer that is just having a bad season, that can't finish, but you can see the stuff. There was one game recently, I can't remember which game it was, maybe 2 games ago, where we had no offsides until Darwin Núñez came on the pitch.
Oh, the one where his first thing was yeah.
Just no offsides until Darwin Núñez came on the pitch.
That's one thing I will say. Sorry, Kojo. That's one thing I will say, and I agree with you. For every time he was offside, I would fine him £5,000 to £10,000 for every offside he gets every game.
And I think you're going to be a rich man.
I know.
He's offside too much. This is about game intelligence with Núñez. This is not about his physical ability, because he's got everything else. He's probably the best, but it's just about game intelligence. We've all played football at a certain level, yeah. And I don't care what the level is. Sometimes you just know when somebody's just got smarts. The stuff that he does, where he calls screamers, you're in shock when it happens. You shouldn't be in shock when your striker does something like that. Yeah, it's just normal game intelligence. He doesn't have it. He does. There's players that have less ability than him, but more game intelligence, so they can play football. I don't understand his mindset, what he thinks. And if I don't understand it and I'm at home, do you think the players next to him? I don't think the players rate him. I think they like him. I think he's a really nice guy, and he's probably good to go out to the clubs and hang out with some gal and go vacation with. And he might be a great chef. He might cook it up for the team. But brother, I would not put anything that I love on the line, banking on him to score 1-1. And we are Liverpool Football Club who are trying to win titles, bro. And if you don't believe that you can put your house on your striker, he shouldn't be there. Let him go on loan and get over his feelings if he needs to do that, or just sell him, because I do believe he will be great somewhere else. I do believe that. But just not at Liverpool. That's all I'm saying. Gakpo, for me, before we signed Núñez, Gakpo was our number 9, our Firmino replacement, banging in goals left, right, and center. He wasn't getting disturbed. I just saw the natural transition of him coming in for Firmino. Then we made the midfield, left wing, right wing, left back. Like, for me, I think we've ruined him, and hopefully a Dutch manager will favor a Dutch player, right? He will favor him, and he will find the space for him, and whatever position he is, he plays. Diaz, for me, I think we'll see the best of him next season. I think a lot has happened to Diaz this year, so I can't even put it all. And I think with what's happened to him and his displays, there's been games where he has saved us. He is wasteful, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt over everything. If I lost my mom recently, right? So for your dad to just be kidnapped and your mother as well, that's that. And then you're trying to play football. For me, the whole season's written off. And
he went through it all. You're right.
Even though he's been through all of that, there's still been times where all he has to do is finish. Again, you see game intelligence in Diaz, though. He's out there being absolutely oblivious and he don't know what's going on like this. So for me, I'll give Diaz one more season, because I would hate for him to go to Barcelona and start lighting it up over there.
He's not going to, though.
I feel like he will. I feel like he will.
If you look at his career, right, He's had one season that he lit it up in his entire career.
It was his last season at Porto.
His last season at Porto. Outside of that, if you look at his season, and I don't always look at GA, and I talk to people that watch the Portuguese league, Diaz was average before that last season. Average.
Well, you know what? I hear you, but I feel like when Mane was still there and then he come into the team, I was excited by him. And you just need a player that may not score a lot of goals, but scores important goals, because I think that's what we've been missing as well.
Agreed.
Important goals. Might not get the numbers, but you need that person that just always steps up. And I feel like maybe like McAllister's kind of been that for us.
Yeah, he has. I think yes. Yeah.
Expected that from Szoboszlai. That's who I expect those goals from. Everything McAllister is what I've expected from Szoboszlai, personally. But for me, Diaz gets another season. Jota, for me, I could never sell him. I could never sell him. Yeah. Now, if he has a whole nother injury-ridden season again, then there's not much you can do. We will know why he's not starting. But I'd rather have Jota on the bench than sell him. I'd rather give him less games if it means he stays fit than to get rid of him. Because if I'm losing and I need a goal, that's someone I'm excited that's coming off the bench. Nunes, nah, brother. I'm sorry. And Salah, I'm happy with whatever decision they make with Salah. I feel like if he leaves end of the season, thank you very much. You've been a great servant. We love you and good luck and wish him well. And if he stays on, then understand that you might have competition next season, and we get a right winger that should be starting. I don't want a right winger that knows he ain't starting and he's just gonna come and sit down and all the other stuff. If Salah wants to stay there, it's gonna be because he wants to fulfill his legacy at the club and end there, and that's fine. But he has to be challenged next year, because this year
facts. Big facts. No, big facts. All right, then, guys, let me read that super screen. We have to wrap up because I didn't realize the time, and I feel we might have need to do a part 2 because there's more to speak about as well. Like, so
I think so.
Obviously, guys, we'll speak after the show, but yeah, we might have to do a part 2 or something still. We got Jammer. It goes, Matt. We started conceded first from last season, fam. That is very, very true. That is true.
Nothing new. This ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
This is us.
It's not a new thing. You're right, Jammer. I agree. ME4 says next season could Bradley and Trent start together. Do you know what? I saw a tactic video where someone put what was it?
Trent on the wing.
No, it was Bradley at left. No, I saw someone's talk about Arnie Slot's tactics and where the players can potentially play. And then, because that's it, because Gertruda is it Gertruda? I think actually pronounce it Gertruda or whatever. Plays for Feyenoord. He inverts from left back, and someone was saying maybe that could be Bradley, but
I can't hear you.
My volume gone.
Yo. Bajan, like, would you have Trent on the wing?
That may work. I think he's going to struggle in middle of the park. To be honest, I think he'll struggle because your head's got to be on a swivel when you're in the middle of the pitch. Because you got a bunch of players all around you. You don't have that freedom to just see the entire pitch. You know what I mean? Like where he plays at right back. I think he would struggle.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't hear me now.
Yeah.
Bro, I just kicked out my mind. I don't know what happened. I must have been just. But basically, what I was trying to say is there was a point where I said the whole inverting, and I think I saw Bradley and Trent in the same lineup. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. I don't.
You have the wing.
No, I think it was Bradley inverting from.
Would you have him there?
Was that sorry?
No, I'm saying, would you have him there? So, like, next season, they say Trent is going to challenge Mohamed Salah for right wing.
No. Trent, in my opinion, Trent has to play centre midfield. It can definitely work. But Bajan's right. Play him with... If we do 4-2-3-1, you would have to get a very defensive... All right, so... Final play with... I think his name's Matt Wyeth or Matt Weef. I don't know how you pronounce it. He actually is like a very good player. To the point where he, in my opinion, could start over Endo, and you could play maybe him and Trent, and then put Mac in the 10 potentially. But then it's about, are we forcing the narrative? Because then it would mean McAllister should really be playing the double pivot because he plays best there when he played for Brighton as well. And even in the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he played the 10. And are we forcing the agenda where Slot does like to invert, but he inverts properly, unlike what Liverpool have done? And that's do the whole Joe Gomez invert and Trent still bombing up the pitch if need be. So there's a few question marks. I think that there's a few questions that need to be answered, in my opinion. But Trent can definitely play midfield next season, or at least we should attempt to try it. Whether it works or not, like what Bajan's saying, is a very good question, because we haven't seen Trent when he's having to look over his shoulder every 2 seconds. Like, it's very different doing that just in part of a game, but for the whole game.
When you got a Fabinho in number 6, yeah, you can do all of that.
Yeah, you need someone to screen. All right then. So you're saying when Alonso had Mascherano, because Alonso could dictate, Mascherano was screened for him, right? I hear that. Also, you have to remember, it's not a coincidence that, Fabinho had a horrible season last season, right? But this year, we Endo's been okay, right? But we still miss that person that protects the defense. True.
For real, like, really protects the defense. But
yeah, because Endo can't, as good as Endo's been, Arsenal have Declan Rice. I know, because Arsenal have Declan Rice and Man City have Rodri. As good as Endo has been this season, he doesn't come nowhere near their level. We have to just be honest. He doesn't. And that's a problem. Right, moving on to the last super chat, I believe. Big up Ram, big up the panel. Man like Matt holding it down. But pause. I say pause. Big up yourself, bro. I had to put the pause in there. And last but not least, John says, what's y'all's favorite Kendrick album? Mine is Good Kid, Man City. Man says, say
OV
man said OV ho, say OV ho. All right, all love, gents. What's your favorite Kendrick album, Bajan?
You know what, Matt? I'm an old school guy. I don't listen to no new hip hop.
I'll swear down. But even if you don't really, you're not really into the whole Kendrick and
all this new age of music,
forget
me out it. I go back to Tupac, Biggie, the old school. Helter Skelter, original gun clappers, Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? That's my guys.
Yeah. No, I respect that. What about you, Kojo?
I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar like that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, fair play. Oh, it's just. I guess it's just me then. The chat just said Matt. You know what I mean? Now for me, it would be probably Good Kid, Man City. Probably my favorite album as well. But no, big up to all the people that listen to the old school people. I try to listen to a bit of both, but I understand you can't beat old school hip hop. You can't. And that, even when I say hip hop, not even rapping or hip hop, it's just different. It's just different. But yeah, now people, listen. Big up. It's been a great show as always. Listen, big up Bajan. Big up, you know what I'm saying? Big up Kojo. Big up Drift. Drift has some technical difficulties. I believe Drift should be with us in the watch along in about 10 minutes time, because also we've got Aston Villa. If anything, people, what we're trying to do, do a part 2, because I do feel like there is more to cover for Liverpool. I know we just spoke like a bit briefly about the attack and whatnot, but I think maybe in the next one we can speak about the potential signing of Arne Slot and what he can bring to Liverpool, what changes he can make, or what changes you would like to see him make. So we can definitely do that. So we're trying to see if we can make that happen. Make sure you go subscribe. Bajan, before you go, let the people know where they can find you, bro, because you got your own channel doing your own thing, bro. Let the people know they can find you, bro.
Yeah, you guys can check me on Bajan Reds TV. Yeah. Like and subscribe to us. Appreciate all the love and support from the Kop-Ish fellas. These are my brothers. Appreciate for everyone who's subbed already, and who haven't, give us a sub.
Big up. And Kojo, where can the people find you as well, brother?
My on my YouTube, man, my comedy special is out right now. 4 siblings.
Yeah.
Go and check it out. It's an hour of hilarity. And yeah, man, leave a comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And yeah, man, hopefully we get a win tonight.
Indeed. Big up both of you guys as well. Big up both your contents. Amazing stuff, as you guys know, each and every time. And obviously, guys, we'll talk. Obviously, people, like I said, listen, everyone's busy, but we'll see if we can do a part 2. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like there's more that we want to discuss. But yeah, make sure you go and check out Kojo's content and Bajan's content as well, people. Smash the like button if you haven't already. It is Team Kop-Ish. In fact, people will be back in about 9 minutes time. because we got to do, you know what I'm saying, the watch along, and then we're going to do the match reaction. So big up people for watching. Like,
Yeah,
share, subscribe. Indeed, like, share,
Big up,
subscribe.
everyone.
All that good stuff. We'll see you again in a bit, people. Take it easy. Love.
Reconstruction.